All right, let's get started. Hopefully you had a nice break. All right, the old saying goes, it's a nice break, but it wasn't long enough. All right, the name of this course is Application Programming with Java, but it's more an Android class than it is a Java class. In addition, I'm going to at least show you on at least one project too, and maybe more. We'll see how it goes, how you can use Kotlin. And Kotlin was invented, for lack of better words, kind of not as an alternative to Java, but as something that can be added to Java. It's much simpler. In some ways, it's kind of like JavaScript. You don't need to put semicolons on the end. It's a little bit more free format with some of the stuff that it allows you to do. We'll talk about that at another time. So, all right, is starting at 12:05 instead of 12:35, is that any problem for you at all? Okay, and I know that works for you. So, all right, we did have times last semester. It was just Keegan and I, so we had times when we decided, like a Friday or something, we'd meet remote. Now, I'm going to have to talk to Charles about that and see if that, that can continue or not. I don't have any problem doing that at all. So. But I have to see what he says. Evidently, there is, I'm not, you didn't hear this, but of course I'm taping. There was COVID in the class that was in here. You understand what I'm saying? So they're meeting remotely for the first week. I don't have any idea. That's all I've been told. I don't know anything else about it. So, and that was, when it happened during break. So it's not like you have to worry about it. And I did wash down all the tables where people were sitting. So, all right. So where we are in here, there's not really a whole heck of a lot. Java is a totally object-oriented programming language. You're going to know that before the end of the day today, because we're literally going to write about 4 or 5 Java programs. That's what we're going to do for most of the day. All right. I do have in here, these are links to all of the material that you'll need in here. Okay. And there are some of the stuff that's in here. There are like things with assignments and stuff in there. We'll just take a look when we get there. It's not necessarily that you're going to be doing every single thing in there. Okay. All right, so you can read through this if you want, but one thing that I really didn't mention much in the syllabus, it's until the end, is you are responsible for doing some kind of a semester-long project. You should be thinking about what you want to do right now. Now, I'm going to give you an example, and this will pertain to you. You don't have to do this, not at all. But let's just say that I've not heard back yet from Caitlin Kincaid. But let's say, she comes back and she goes, I really like what Angie did on her site. If you wanted to try to turn that into an Android app, you can do that. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying as an example. And if Keegan, if you say, I've always wanted to kind of like make my own game and I had these, you'll be able to do that. All right. I would just say one thing, and that is, because I've had people do this in the past. I had a really good student. In fact, he's a professional Java programmer right now named Colin. Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And he decided he wanted to do a game. He told me what he wanted to do, and he laid it all out, etc. He set it up with Balsamic. He mocked it up, and it looked really good. And I said, I think this is going to be harder than you think it is. Because he wanted to do like about 6 levels. And he ended up doing, I think you could get to level 3. And that's fine. That's kind of to be expected. So now when you look in here, these are our outcomes. I don't want to read to you, but you notice Android apps. So we're going to be into Android by next week. All right. When will it be next week? I will tell you that what I am going to do, and I'm not sure if Paul is going to do this or not, but probably, we're going to talk a lot of Java today. We'll talk a lot of Java tomorrow. And probably on Monday. I may end up giving you your first test then on Tuesday. And give you the whole period to work on it and probably not make it due till like Thursday. All right, but you'll have a really good idea. In fact, a lot of the stuff that's in there, you'll be like, I could do this right now. You could do it after class today. You could probably do half the test. Okay. There's a couple problems that are in there that are a little bit more difficult, but I don't think anything on the first test is hard. All right, that's just me. So, again, write apps that demonstrate Java and object-oriented programming. That's what we're going to be doing for the next few days, okay? When you do your project, you are responsible for planning, designing, building, and testing that app. Okay? Now, I have decided, good, bad, or indifferent, that what we're going to do is we're going to use two different editors in here. We're going to use IntelliJ for the first week or two. If you don't like it after that, you can literally uninstall it. It's not a real big thing, and it's a community edition. But I think it's going to be easier than bringing you right into Visual Studio right away, because I'd rather have you just concentrate on Java, and I think IntelliJ IDEA is probably easier to use. That's what we're going to do it that way. We will work with the SDK. SDK, it's the what is it? It's like the Systems Device Manager, and what it is, it's Software Development Kit. You'll see it almost right away, but it's where you can go in and you can check. You quite often will get updates in the bottom right-hand corner of your machine, and they'll say a new version of this is available, and you can download it if you want to. All right, do you have to? No, you don't have to. The stuff that we'll do from the way that we'll set it up at the beginning of the semester will be just fine for all semester. If you decide you want a newer version of something, you can. One thing about Android is that they tend to update more frequently than, like, for example, iOS does for Mac. All right. Perform file I/O. We'll take a look a little bit at file I/O, and again, still utilizing Git. All right, that's one thing that we've been told is, hey, just keep doing stuff with Git. Okay, fine. I don't think in here you already know about the attendance thing. They've given us Mr. Corrigan it's pretty much the same form that I think at least one of you has already seen, and I think you might have last semester. I don't remember. Let's see, where is it? There it is. It's this right here. So like I said, it should look at least very similar to the other one. And so what is it? I come in here, I put in your name, your ID, I fill all this stuff out. The course name, the course number, and my name. And then I'm not worried about either one of you being tardy. All right, there may be a time when you come in here, you're a minute or two late. Now, I did let them go early today. Normally, they won't be out of here until 11:55, just so you know that. But if you want to be here at 11:55, great. If you want to walk in at 12:04, that's fine. I don't either way. So again, when you get the fourth absence, I sign it, and you sign it, we date it. You get a fifth absence, Mr. Corrigan has to sign it, you sign it, and date it. Sixth absence, you got to take it over by and have Brandon or Patrick in the other building sign it, date it, and you sign it. All right? If, I hopefully this won't happen to either one of you, but if you get hit by COVID or something like that, or you're really sick, one thing they're basically telling us to let all of you know is, if you're sick, just don't come in. Send me an email. Just say, hey, I'm really sick today. But especially if you've got COVID-like symptoms rather. So if you're coughing, sore throat, or whatever, then just don't come in. All right. And as long as one of you is here, I'm gonna. If it's a lecture day, I'm gonna lecture. Well, hopefully you'll both be here. But if it's like today, I will end up taping this stuff just so it's out there. All right? So let's see. Now I've got my old mouse with the new machine, and this new mouse does not work like my other one does. All right. So, back here. All right. I don't think we have to even talk about academic honesty. You're both good students. That's not an issue. I did tell the students in the class this morning that we have somebody who is willing to tutor. I've got one guy, believe me, he's not, I'm not going to mention her name, but he's not her, the one who came in with a Mac, but this guy has got a Mac, and he's really bound and determined to try to make it work with a Mac. Okay, so we'll do the best we can. So I don't know if either one of you has actually looked at the syllabus that I sent to you, but basically what it is I want us to go through all 10 of those units that are in that thing that I passed out to you. Then there's another one, an advanced one. If there's time, we'll go through a couple of those. But the idea is, on average, we'll half the week will be lecture, the other half will be lab. Make sense? So if you notice, we got in today key in Java payroll programs. We're going to start doing that in just a minute. And I've got here due Friday. All right. And all you got to do is just turn them in. We're going to do them together. All right, so I don't think there'll be any kind of problem. We'll do, like I said, I've got a few of them here today. The first ones that we do will be like, why are we even doing this? Just to get you into the swing, etc. And the last one or two that I've got for today are a little bit more difficult because they really start to show more object-oriented than like we went through with C# last year. All right, but again, then you'll notice, so I've got that set up, and tomorrow, and then Monday being a lab day. I may even, depending on how far we get, I may even just give you hand out the test on Monday, like make it do Wednesday or something like that. All right, I mean, a couple of the problems that are in there, I've got to do a little rewrite on it because I'm going to have you actually do a little bit more than Paul's going to have them do. But, I mean, one of them is like print out all the numbers from 1 to 100, but just the odd numbers. You know, stuff like that. So you know how to do that stuff. It's not going to be a big surprise. All right, then we're next week already, like I've got here, day 5. We'll see exactly when it is. We'll jump right into that. And I'm going to lecture out of there. We're going to take it really slow. And what I plan on doing is, at least for probably the first half of the class, is, you know, after we get done talking about something, we're just going to build an app as a class. All right, and then I might ask you to make modifications. I might ask you to do something different. I don't know. Some of these stuff that we do, you maybe have already even done in other languages. Now, when you took the class last semester, Angie, we didn't do much, really did anything like with BMI, the body mass index. Keegan did when he took it. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to rewrite the BMI thing. But we'll rewrite it first as just a single page app. And then we'll add another page to it. All right? And we'll do like a simple to-do list. And we'll work on that one kind of throughout the semester, because one of the things that we'll do is when we first do it, you won't be able to save it because the data won't persist. But then we'll add that where you're able to make it persist, or maybe just a file. Then we'll add a database to it. You know, so we'll be able to take the same kind of program and just work on it and rework on it throughout the entire semester. So I'm not going to go through this anymore, but just so you see all that stuff is out there. All right? So let me take this. That was 12 minutes. And right now, I'm just going to take this for now in case I have to come back, and I'm going to pause this.